Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into a pretty crucial topic. The feedback loop between, well, personalized algorithms and how polarized we seem to be getting.
Yeah, and we're going to unpack this using a story, the story of Elias. He's a retired history teacher, someone who really, valued looking at things from all sides.
But he got trapped by his own data, really. We want to look at how these initial feelings he had, maybe feeling a bit adrift, a bit worried, how they were essentially turned against him.
It happened fast.
Yeah.
So Elias finds his online space, calls itself the Forum. Almost instantly, the recommendation engine there starts gathering data.
Uh-huh.
It didn't care about nuance or truth. It just detected these latent worries he had. And importantly, these weren't just his worries. They reflected bigger societal biases that are already out there.
So it picks up on existing anxiety.
Exactly. And it fed them back to him, but sharpened, amplified.
Okay, so Elias thinks he's found a community, maybe connecting with people online, but really he's just feeding the machine, giving it the data it needs to target him better.
That's pretty much it. Every click, every share, it felt like participation to him. But under the hood, it was just training data for the algorithm.
Right.
And the system learned something specific. Content that sparked outrage, that caused division, kept him online way longer than, say, something thoughtful or complex.
So division worked best to keep him scrolling.
Precisely. Division became the best retention tool. And that rapidly fills in what we call the algorithmic bias. The key thing for you, the listener, to get here is that the machine is blind to complexity. It doesn't see nuance. It doesn't get context.
It just sees a pattern, the pattern that keeps you engaged, keeps you hooked.
That's the pattern it optimizes for.
And this is where it gets really tangible, isn't it? Because this digital echo chamber started causing real-world damage. Let's talk about his granddaughter, Lena.
Right, Lena. She's this vibrant art history student, sees the world as, this complex, messy, beautiful tapestry. That's how she put it.
And she tries to share something with him, like a community project.
Yeah, community arts project, something positive. But Elias, he hits back with this cynicism that wasn't really his own. It was borrowed from his feed.
What'd you say?
Called it an excuse to cause trouble. Because his online world, his forum, was just saturated with stories painting young people negatively, like youth vandalism everywhere.
Wow. So he couldn't even see her, his own granddaughter, clearly anymore.
That's the tragedy of the echo chamber, isn't it? The algorithm amplified one type of content, the biased stuff, until his view was totally skewed.
It created this kind of sealed room where only one perspective gets in, homogenous content constantly reinforcing itself.
And his real-world connections suffered. Old friends, people he used to have nuanced debates with. Those connections frayed. He became less of an explorer of ideas.
And more like a soldier.
Yeah, a soldier defending his fortress, as the source material put it. His personal stock of polarization just grew and grew.
Which brings us to the climax, this city protest.
Right. Elias saw it through the lens of his algorithmically curated feed. Anarchists to hold city hostage. That was the narrative he was fed.
But what was actually happening? What was Lena doing?
Lena was there, marching peacefully, for civic funding, with neighbors, teachers, even firefighters. Their banner literally said, "Community is the answer." Totally different reality.
And did Elias realize?
That's the gut punch. He saw the actual news coverage later on TV, peaceful protest, and he felt, the source calls it the cold artifice of his online bubble. He tried searching for neutral info.
But the algorithm wouldn't let him go.
His search results were still distorted, still designed to keep him in that biased track it had carved for him.
So even when he tried to break out, the system resisted. Now, while Elias is going through this personal crisis, what's happening, on a bigger scale?
Well, slowly, the counterforces are starting to mobilize. This is the accountability break, the B3 concept we've talked about before. It's not instant, but it's happening.
Okay, like what?
You've got journalists raising public awareness, shining a light on these mechanisms. Advocacy groups are putting pressure on for actual regulation. And behind the scenes, there are efforts, quiet ones maybe, pushing for platform intervention within the companies themselves.
So the wheels are turning, but it's slow work.
Very slow work. It's a collective effort against a very powerful system.
And Elias, the story ends with him just sitting there, alone, bathed in the blue light of the screen, kind of a ghost in the machine he unwittingly helped build.
Yeah.
So we'll leave you with this thought. Society is wrestling with how to regulate these platforms, sure, but what's your personal responsibility here? When your clicks, your shares, your time spent looking, when your engagement is the very data training these systems designed, maybe unintentionally, to isolate you. Something to think about.